Welcome to the Firebelly Social Show. We're focused on talking to food and beverage brands that are on a mission to make the world better.
Hey, it's Duncan with another episode of the Firebelly Social Show. This episode is a very special episode as it was shot on the floor of Expo West, the capital of food and beverage in the United States, the Super Bowl, where I talked to leaders and founders of mission-driven food and beverage brands, and it was a blast. This episode is brought to you by Firebelly Marketing, where we help build brands on social and drive retail velocity. Please check out firebellymarketing.com for more info.
Always happy to reconnect with Christina Appleton from Karma Nuts. Christina, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Christina, you're in a rare club. There's only 2 people that have been on the show 3 times.
I feel so special.
Christina, I wanted to ask you, what's something really cool that you worked on recently?
So I'm really proud of our new cashew cookie bites. So they're made with the goodness of cashews. So a cashew flour base. We use dates and coconut to sweeten them. And then these ones in particular are just a 3-ingredient chocolate chip. So the whole cookie only has like 8 or 9 ingredients, which is unheard of in a chocolate chip cookie. Plus, because we use coconut oil and cashew flour, they're really buttery and chewy, but somehow still vegan at the same time. So people have been loving them this show. It's been really cool to see.
That's amazing. Congratulations. What an awesome journey. And that basically has diversified the company from nuts into cookies.
Exactly. So this was the first foray we had into a new product category. So obviously there's some challenges because we found, there's a different buyer for each product. And so sometimes it's been a little challenging for us to navigate across the aisles, but it's also been kind of a fun challenge because we get to meet new people who are in different categories.
That's amazing. And I wanted to ask you, what's something that you've noticed at the show? Is there something that's jumped out, insight, trend, opportunity, anything?
Yeah, so I've noticed a couple of trends here at the show. One is we have reached peak beverage. There are so many sparkly beverages, whether they be for gut health, prebiotics, probiotics, sparkling waters, enhanced, nutrition. It's all about keeping yourself hydrated. There are so many.
They're all prebiotic.
I mean, some of them I can't try those ones, which is funny. But there's so many. The other thing is, who is going to win that race to the best vegan dupe? So whether it be meat or eggs or fish or whatever, who's going to actually make something that looks, tastes, and feels like the animal counterpart? And, mixed results, I'll say, at the show.
I wonder what you think about the kind of like the advancement in oat milk chocolate.
I mean, I've always been impressed, I'd say in the last few years, by what's been happening in the plant-based milk space. Because I remember growing up and it was like rice milk or rice dream and like silk, and that was it. And now it's like you can get every single type of plant-based milk you want. You want it with like heirloom oats grown in certain parts of the world, you can find that. So I've been really impressed. And yeah, once you get into flavors with them too, I was over at Califia and they've got like 6 different flavors of plant-based creamers now. It's been really impressive.
and I just tasted one, and I didn't even know it was oat milk. I thought it was milk.
It's so impressive. And I mean, we obviously being in the cashew space, I've played around with making cashew milk and making different products out of that. So we have a lot of respect for our plant-based milk brethren out there.
And now just to remind people that are watching that don't know this is that the OG product from Karma Nuts is a nut. It is a cashew nut. And what makes that nut different?
So our cashews are wrapped, which is maybe a little confusing to people. Like, what does that mean? And it actually means that we keep the skin on our cashews. So like a potato or an apple, there's a ton of nutrients in the skin of a cashew. So you get twice the fiber, antioxidants like blueberry, and an even better air roasted crunch with that. I think it also, because it's a little bit more porous, our seasonings and our flavors come through much more strongly in our cashews than in others.
And it's totally unique. I mean, it is 1 in a freaking billion. I mean, it is, and part of the reasoning for that is not easy to do that. I mean, one wrong step and it's lethal.
Yeah, so you touched on that. The shell of a cashew is toxic, and so you have to be very careful, both from a product quality, but also human safety. and making sure that you're processing these cashews properly. So we always make sure we have third-party audits on all of our labor practices. We make sure that we're testing everything rigorously. And yeah, I mean, then you're also shipping it over an ocean because there aren't any cashews grown domestically. So being able to transport these very delicate skinned cashews is another challenge.
And they come from Kerala, which is arguably God's country. So.
Well, I mean, next time you take me, I'll be able to verify that.
Christina, thank you so much. Is there anything else? Where can people find Karma Nuts? Just to remind everyone.
Yeah, so you can find us online at Thrive Market, Amazon, and our website. Then we're in probably about 600 to 800 doors around the country in brick and mortar stores. And then most excitingly, we've been doing a big foray into travel and hospitality. So you can find us at their Chibo stores in the airport. We just got in WH Smith. You can find us on United Airlines, Delta Airlines, and a few more that hopefully we'll be able to announce soon.
Man, I want to fly on a Delta flight and get some Karma Nuts. It's like, what a progression from the shitty pretzels. They get like a ultra premium nut.
Right? Exactly. And we've actually had a few people at the show stop by and say, oh my gosh, I saw you on the flight here. And it was really cool to see stuff like that.
Congratulations to you and Ganesh and everything. And congratulations to Ganesh for delegating you to do this.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
Best of luck, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to be here with Brooks and Chie, the co-founders of TÖST. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Oh, thank you, Duncan. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Brooks, I got to ask the first question. How did you decide to name the product TÖST?
Jeez, you're setting me up there, Duncan. So, yeah, it's actually a funny story. The name was really a play on toast, T-O-A-S-T, and a really clever branding partner of ours almost 10 years ago said, lose the A and add the umlaut. So it's a play on the word toast, which is a celebration beverage. You know, the toast is an international sign of welcomeness and celebration and hospitality. Thank you. End of the day show. You get a little tired. But yeah, it's an international sign of hospitality, and that was the basis on it. So the TOST is kind of a play on that.
I wanted to ask, what makes TÖST different?
Well, you know, a lot of the non-alc beverages are trying to be something that they're not. You know, you've got liars, you've got mocktails. We really wanted to focus on the positive and develop a product that has the attributes of an alcoholic beverage, but not necessarily any alcohol. So we weren't so focused on trying to taste like a Pinot Grigio or a rosé wine, but rather have many of those attributes: a nose, a mouthfeel, a finish, sophistication. We use the word meaningfulness a lot. Where a lot of brands are pulling things out, we really focused on creating and what we could bring to the table.
That's amazing, because I know as someone that is drinking a lot less, some NA beverages just don't have any beginning, any middle, or if they have a beginning, there's no middle or end. They don't focus on mouthfeel. And you've done that, and you call it meaningful.
Well, meaningfulness is a word. I think it's, to your point, is you want that soul, you want that depth that alcohol brings to a lot of products. So we had over 85, 90 iterations to get there. A lot of back and forth. We brought in a Michelin star restaurateur, worked with his sommelier team, back and forth, more nose, less finish, too sweet, too dry. How do we make it pair well with food? How do we make it have all of those things? Because again, it's not so much that I want to have a Pinot Grigio or a Chardonnay, that I want to have a beverage that meets the occasion. So all of those pieces, the nose, the mouthfeel, the finish, that's what encompasses the beverage. And that really has been our focus from day one. I
feel like it's like, you're not trying to be Vin Diesel. You were just your own action hero.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's again, we believe the consumer is getting our product and other products for the occasion, not necessarily because they want to have something that tastes like something that they used to know. So we're going to continue to create in that vein, and we find ourselves to be a bit unique in that process. But we're also not only premium, but we're in that affordable price range under $10. Which, as we all know, consumers don't want to spend as much on their alcohol or their non-alc as they do their alcohol. So having that value to it as well is really important.
And I feel like it's a beautiful bottle. It's a great name. It's a brand is really cool. I went and checked out the brand last night. And in a day and age when we have, as you said, imitation products that are trying to charge $140, it's refreshing to me. Like, hey, you're going to have a great opportunity to have an occasion, as you said, but we're not going to break your bank.
Right. Well, absolutely. Especially today. I mean, we were around in the heydays. I guess the economy was a little bit better in those days, but with inflation and everything else. And again, the consumer's not seeing value spending the same amount of money for their alcohols or non-alc. So we want to bring that value. We also want to have this product available to everybody. That's really a part of our ethos from the very beginning. Again, that hospitality, the welcomeness. So inclusivity has been a big part. That's inclusivity in the sense of being able to, enjoy the party. It's also inclusivity in terms of I can afford the bottle. So, we don't want to break the bank. There's a lot of great products out there. On a special occasion, maybe they want to buy something that's, $40, and we appreciate that. Variety is the spice of life, as you know. But for that everyday, what am I going with? What do I feel comfortable with when I walk into a restaurant? Am I getting value and that experience? We really worked hard to get there.
Yes. Yes, we like we like to keep it sophisticated. We know we want to stay friendly, but we want to be elevated. So, and then the world language of hospitality, we want people to feel welcome. And then it's that's in our mind always. And then, keep it just, we're very, picky about, keep it simple, yet friendly. Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And I didn't even know about the cans. Tell me about the cans.
So, we can't reach all occasions with glass. They're poolside, beaches, and airlines, and, exactly, cruise ships. And the younger generation's very attracted to cans. We spent a lot of time, our team, on designing this can, brought in a great group to help us out. And again, how do we emulate that premiumization without, breaking the bank and having a design? So, one of the other things that we think a lot about is keeping the label really clean and simple and authentic. So, we don't want to splash that it's made with real organic, We're just, the product itself, it's toast, it's simple ingredients, nice presentation. And hopefully adding value to people's lives.
I really do feel like that you've accomplished that with both the bottle and the can, because it just makes me want to go. It makes me want to. Any last parting thoughts? Where can people find the product?
So 9,000 doors around the country. You can find us on premise. Fleming's just brought us in nationwide on premise. We're in some cool places like T-Mobile. So if you're in Vegas going to a hockey game, grab a toast. But we're in most major retailers and liquor stores around the country. So Whole Foods, Walmart, Albertsons, Kroger stores, not all of them everywhere, but a lot. So call your local retailer. If you don't have it, ask them for it.
One last question. How's the show been for you?
Fantastic. No, it's a really fun show. A lot of variety. You get buyers, sellers, up, down, left, right, a lot of sampling. It's exhausting, but one of the best shows of the year. We love being here.
Thank you so much for making the world better. And thank you for being here and being so generous with your time. And, hope to see you on the full episode of the show soon.
Appreciate it, Duncan. Thanks so much for your interest and time.
Thank you to both of you. I'm here with none other than Matt McLean, and I'm so excited from Uncle Matt's. And Matt, we have such an interesting story on how we met. We met on LinkedIn. I've interacted with you, and you recently had a contest to see who could guess the new flavor that was being launched, and I guessed lychee.
Yeah. So I appreciate you participating, but you were by far the only person that guessed lychee. You maybe should have won something just for being the most unique guess. And while lychee is pretty cool, but it definitely was not what we launched. And so I'm sorry you didn't win.
No. So tell us about what you did launch.
Oh yeah. So we launched a couple new teas, cranberry hibiscus tea, brewed with rose hips, and then also an energy tea, yerba mate energy tea, sweetened with wildflower honey. And has 100 milligrams caffeine. And then the old favorite, we brought it back, apple juice. So unfiltered cider-style apple juice. It's boosted with vitamin C from acerola, and then also probiotics.
I mean, I tried the yerba mate yesterday, and it is so freaking good.
Yeah, we love that yerba mate. It's awesome. It's aged yerba mate from Brazil. We deep steep it for about 10 minutes, and then we add wildflower honey, which is awesome from Brazil. And it winds up being a real perfect combination.
I mean, 10 minutes, that's a long time to steep tea.
Yeah, it's a deep steep. So we really want to get the full just antioxidants and the flavor of the tea. We do the same on our black teas and our half and half, and same with the cranberry hibiscus. So, that's sort of our process. We really just like to, give it a good steep.
How's the show been for you?
Yeah, excellent. We've had a great show. It's been a lot of traffic. Surprisingly, for the second day. First day was jam-packed, but it's usually always crowded the first day. And the second day, it stayed just as busy. And we had, great, valuable retailers that came by. And that's always good. That rings the cash register. it's nice to sample, but you really want the retailers to come by. They pay the bills.
I got a chance to talk to that gentleman. Is it
Ed.
Ed?
Yes.
And he really educated me on what it was like in the early days of Expo West.
Oh, absolutely. So Ed has been coming here as long as the dinosaurs. He's a really old guy. No, so Ed was my first broker up in the Midwest. He had his own company. And he's been a lifelong friend for me ever since. Really great guy. I had to hire him to come on board to do sales for us. Now he handles the whole central of the U.S. And yeah, he's super knowledgeable. He knows pretty much more about it than me at times because he's just that good in sales.
I want to ask this one question is, what has been your favorite part of the show so far?
I just love interacting with regular customers, and they come by and they say, man, I love it. I love your product. I mean, I buy it, and they, some retailer, wherever, and it just kind of fills you up with joy because you don't always get that interaction, right? And it validates all your hard work, all your efforts that, this is real and it affects people's lives and they love it. And so it really is that nice little jolt that you need when you're bogged down with worrying about fill in the blank as an entrepreneur, right? This is why we do it. We're passionate about what we do and we're on mission. And when people then love it and tell you that, it helps fill you up. So I love interacting with the customer and hearing what they like and things that they would, be passionate about as well with our brand.
Matt, I just wanted to ask you, what was the new product that you launched at Expo West?
So we had 3. We went back to our old favorite, apple juice, but we had a new twist to it. We added probiotics for the gut and 100% vitamin C through acerola the cherry. So we made a nice healthy spin on apple juice, an old favorite that everybody loves, and it was a big hit, which is great. And then we had 2 teas as we last year we showed our black teas, a regular tea, a sweet tea, and then a half and half. And so this time we just went a little deeper in innovation on that. We launched some yerba mate, which is from the Brazilian rainforest, an aged yerba mate, adding wildflower honey to that. So a nice sweet touch with 100 milligrams of caffeine. And then our hibiscus, so cranberry, cherry, hibiscus tea, brewed with rose hips. Beautiful. Great.
And I want to ask you, because that yerba mate is a 10-minute steep and you call it a deep steep. What's the reason for that? Because that sounds amazing. And I tasted it and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. So we just felt, typically 2 to 3 minutes is what they recommend. And we like to go deeper because I just like full flavor. I'm a full-bodied, full flavor guy. Maybe it's the 100% juice background with OJ and really wanting the fruit, or in this instance, the leaves, to stand out. And so that deep steep does it. It's wonderful. We do it on our black teas. We do it for the half and half, the hibiscus, the whole thing. And I think it shines through and it really lets the ingredient do the talking.
That's something that really resonates with me because I feel like people want to feel the flavor. Even if you punch them with it, they want to feel the flavor.
Right. I mean, we don't want watered down junk, right? We want the real, legitimate, full flavored, functional goodness of Mother Nature.
Matt, I got one more question for you. You guys are doing such amazing work. Maybe we'll even see lychee in the future. But what role does innovation play at your company?
So we have an innovation team. My wife and I lead it, and it's the company, right? I mean, we started with one SKU, this little pulp-free orange juice item right here in 1999, and we ventured out from there. It's still our best seller, and we still have our core roots in citrus. But it's so much fun as a beverage company to be able to then reach out into other places in the store and to other consumers that trust our brand and say, hey, we can do teas, we can do lemonades, we can do punches. And so it's just a lot of fun to innovate into those spaces because as a beverage consumer, I consume those. I like them. And I think Uncle Matt's can do it. And we really dig in hard and we want to make healthy, better for you beverages, no matter, where it is in the store and the profile. So I think these are a good addition for us. And it's in the cold chain, the cold box where we're already at. And it's just high quality, functional stuff.
Awesome. One last question. I know you said you had a chance to meet a lot of buyers, but something happened here that really warmed your heart. What was that?
Well, I always love when customers come up and they say, hey, man, I've been drinking your stuff, and they fill in the blank, and it's usually years and years. And sometimes it's hey, our family grew up on that. You were at our breakfast table for the last 10 years of my kid's life. And you're like, wow, I'm just stuck in a little office back in Clermont, Florida, in our little town trying to do my thing. But you really realize that, hey, you're doing something a whole lot bigger. And then you start talking about your mission, and these people know about your story. And then they talk about organic farming and how that affects their lives. And, it all comes together for that feel good entrepreneur, just lift me up that gets you going every day. And so when I go to work, I think about these instances. I think about these consumers, and I'm doing it for them. I love it, but it's awesome to have that validate what all the hard work is over the last 25 years. It fuels me. So it's awesome.
Man, I just want to thank you for making the world better, man.
Oh, man. You too. I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here with Michael and Bill from Flash Energy. How's it going, guys?
Doing well.
Great. And, Michael, you're the founder.
I'm the founder, yes.
And Bill, what's your role?
Brand ambassador.
He's the chief troublemaker right here, yeah. Michael, tell us about Flash Energy.
Yeah, Flash Energy was more or less created for people to enjoy a product flavor-wise. Flavor to me was the most important thing. I mean, through the years, drinking different products, I was born in Greece. I enjoyed good flavor, good food. I wanted to bring that back in the United States. It was really important. And, drink for me, at the end of the day, from coffee to an energy drink, I think it should be taste. So when we formulated something, I wanted to do something taste so people could enjoy their flavor. And the element, like this drink itself, the most important thing is we put supplements in here. We put clean energy for caffeines in there, the right caffeines. He doesn't drink sugar. He drinks sugar, eats sugar, but he doesn't drink caffeine products.
Sugar is 23 grams. It's from organic cane sugar, stevia, and monk fruit. And it's energy drink, obviously, that tastes great. And it's wellness in a can. Most importantly, in my case, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. So, you don't get any jitters, and there's no crash after drinking the beverage. So you're feeling good, and you're getting that natural energy throughout the day. So, and, the vitamins, minerals, aminos, and so forth, that's the differentiation of others in the business. Not that we don't even consider them competition, because we set ourselves apart.
A lot of people are sensitive to caffeine, and when we decided to do something, I said, what can we make this product different? How can we make it different? So
what were your thoughts?
I mean, the thing that I jumped out at me is it didn't have that aftertaste, that metallic aftertaste. And it tastes. I couldn't have even seen that there was stevia in there. So and that the flavor is really good.
Yeah, and the other thing is, we're making it sugar-free, obviously, and it's very difficult. And I could have launched a sugar-free at the end of the day and do it and come out on the market and say, here's our sugar-free, but if it doesn't taste right, why even do it? We're still working on it, and sugar is not a bad thing. Bringing sugar, monk fruit, and stevia in the right ratio, giving the flavor and all the ingredients in here, I think it does justice for a product. You liked it. My dad likes it. He drinks.
What's great is throughout the show, the great feedback. The consumers coming out, they try it, and it's great hearing them coming back out of their way to commend us and say, this is great. How do we get it? We're looking forward to your growth. The flavors are amazing. It's nice to have this. We didn't want to start off. We had 3 flavors initially. Now we're at 6. And every time we want something, it's all about positive feedback. So, and again, it's wellness in a can. It's my go-to every day. My friends and families, it's promising. It's great. And we're excited about it.
I mean, how'd you get this handsome brand ambassador?
Oh, I had to find them. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, let me ask you this very important question. How can people find the beverage?
So Flash Energy. So we have it on our website. It's available on Amazon. We do have it in some C-stores in the Midwest, in Chicago, the upper UP, but mostly online on our website.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope you have a great show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Time.
Hey, I'm here with John Horn from Honey Smoked Fish. John, how you doing?
Doing very well. How are you?
I'm so good. John, you're so kind. You are cutting up samples for people.
That's correct. Honey smoked fish.
Honey smoked fish, baby. It is delicious, and it is gluten-free.
That's correct. Gluten-free and kosher.
And how do you guys make it taste so good?
It's actually time, temperature, and humidity. So We import, we fly in fresh salmon weekly, goes directly into our plant, and then it goes through a 7-day process. So we really take our time with our fish in our process.
How's the show going for you guys?
It's going really well. It's busy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a minute. Anything else you want to say? How can people find the product?
You can find us at most major retailers and club stores across the country. And then we are in Cisco, US Foods, Dot Foods, UNFI. So most of the major players.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your time. I'm so excited to be here with Shannon from Positive Beverage. You're the CEO.
Correct. Yes.
And this is an amazing product. Tell us about it.
Sure. So we've got Positive Beverage. We have 2 product lines. We have our Positive Hydration, which is 0 calories, 0 sugar, just vitamins, electrolytes, and calcium. And we're using the all-natural stevia leaf as our sweetener. And then our other product line is Positive Energy. We came out with that about 2 years ago. Vitamins, electrolytes. Our caffeine is from organic green tea extract. And our sweetener, again, is just the stevia leaf and a dash of monk fruit, right? So no sucralose, no aspartame, no dyes, none of the bad stuff, just the good stuff.
Awesome. And I wanted to ask you, Shannon, what is your vision for the show? What's happening at the show? What are you seeing?
Well, there's been a lot of excitement at the show, and we're meeting with a lot of buyers. It's been really, really, I hate to say it, positive for us, but really good. And it's also really great just to connect with other great companies and founders that are creating great products.
That's such a great point to make. Yes. And it's an ecosystem. And thank you for sharing your time. And where can people buy the product?
So we're available at a number of different retailers throughout Southern California, including Bristol Farms, Vons, Albertsons, and of course, Amazon. So we'll ship anywhere.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Firebelly Social Show, where I chat with founders and leaders of mission-driven food and beverage brands. This episode was brought to you by Firebelly Marketing, firebellymarketing.com. Thanks so much for listening. It was so much fun to come to you from Expo West.
Thanks for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.